think it's going to be an inspiration for them. Yeah, just go ahead. Thanks for clarifying.
Basically, I'm studying and trying to get a BS in computer science, and am working towards that path. But I would like to have teaching roots underneath so that I would be able to implement all of the knowledge that I'm learning now, possibly into the future. So basically, first of all, because of COVID, how is that playing a part in your performance and work in AI? Is it causing any problems? Because COVID is very...
No, actually, we have. I feel like I'm more productive with the working from home because there's no. For me, the biggest issue was the traffic. I'm not far from work, but yeah, usually I spend 1 hour, like average, between my place to work, and it's a little bit of frustration. So I think now that 2 hours back and forth, I spend this time doing things at work, and I think I'm lucky because my job I can do it remotely.
Yeah.
I need just to connect to different servers, and we have a lab. My job is more about performance, and as you said, artificial intelligence stuff. And these things we can do them. I mean, we can connect through the cloud and do different tests and collect the results and do training, inference things. Also, same thing for performance or performance engineering in general. So I don't see any difference in quality. I think there is another motivation, but I don't know if it's going to be for a long time though.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think when we go to work and return back home, there's this. I feel like you're changing the areas and you're changing the environment, which is very helpful and kind of psychologically, it's helpful. But so far, I feel okay. I think my performance was similar, if not better, than working from office.
Oh, gotcha. Could you hold for one quick second?
Sure.
Hello.
Sorry. Are there any openings? Because I noticed there were like 3 layers of openings.
Yeah, so usually it's pretty closed, but today, because of the way that the reservation system works, there were some openings. The best bet would be to check, or did you want one for today or tomorrow?
For Friday?
Let me check really fast. Friday morning. Let's see. Friday morning. Sorry about that. Or sorry about this inconvenience.
Yeah.
There are no Friday morning openings. The only one is at 7 a.m.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
There is one at 7 a.m.?
Yeah, do you want that one? Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, sorry. I only had like a little bit of time, so had to fit you in.
So you are working today?
Yeah, I actually work at a swim club.
I see.
And I am taking classes online as well, so I'm trying to fit everything in, and it can get pretty hectic. Yeah. So another question is, what language do you use the most in AI? I know there are a ton of different languages. I personally am kind of stuck on which language I should study the most. Obviously, Java is used a lot within classes, but I recently just took assembly. I've learned a little bit in HTML and JavaScript, and kind of just not really sure where my future lies within a specific language.
Yeah, I think there is a difference between teaching AI, artificial intelligence, for students like you, and also you or me, how I'm using the artificial intelligence technology in professional life. There's two different words. I think teaching for education, I mostly use Python language. I think it's the same thing. Python is very important when it comes to professional, because most of the artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning platform, they are actually Python programming language, or a Python-based programming language. So I think being professional in or very fluent, I would say, in Python programming is going to be very helpful. But always when they ask me this question, I say, coding, it's about algorithmics. And if you want to solve the problem, you need to learn about algorithmics, because this is the best way. After this, the programming language is going to be only the syntax. I mean, you need to learn the syntax after this, but on the top of the algorithms, this is the best thing that maybe is going to be very, very helpful. Data structure also, it's one of the things that you need to learn, because if you talk about Python and you don't know dictionary, the dictionary is a syntax, but you don't know what does it mean as a data structure, then it's going to be a problem. On the top of this, I think the prerequisites for artificial intelligence, I would say you need to have some knowledge about Linux command line. You need to do a very good manipulation. It doesn't matter which version of Linux. I think Red Hat, or Ubuntu, whatever you want. But I think there's a command line that can be used for different platforms or different operating system. But Linux is definitely very important when it comes to artificial intelligence, because this is the coding environment where you are going to connect if you have a local computer, let's say your desktop or laptop, and also you connect through cloud. So now I gave you another keyword, which is cloud. I think for a good expertise in artificial intelligence, I think cloud computing, or understanding what does it mean public, what does it mean private, what does it mean hybrid cloud, these things are very, very important. I would say 3 things: Linux, cloud, and of course coding in general, data structure, programming, algorithmics. And if we need to pick one programming language, I think Python is the most important, because most of the deep learning platforms that they are developed by Google, by Facebook, by Microsoft, they are all Python based programming language.
Okay, gotcha. How did you get started within AI? Because I have my BS, or I'm working towards my BS, and there are many different opportunities that come with having a BS in computer science. I just don't know how to choose what area of expertise I go into, whether it's site reliability or, just being a software developer in general. How were you able to navigate through and pick AI as your main focus?
Very good question, and I think it's going to be the same. If I will give the answer, it's going to be the same answer for how I will start coding. All right, okay, in general, because artificial intelligence is just a technology that we can add to solve a big problem, which is the big data. So when you collect a lot of data, then you are thinking how you are going to explore this data and how you do the pre-processing of this data, and after this, you would like to take advantage of this data to solve a problem. So solving the problem is the trigger, I would say. This is the inspiration to start in artificial intelligence. When you have a lot of data and you think about technology or anything that can explore this data and take advantage of it. And it's going to be in different areas. For me, I work at Yahoo. So the idea is to use this big data to solve problem and standing, for example, our customers, get the best user experience, understanding how we can do prediction about what customers are looking for, understand better our products, trying to create a new product. So I think to start with any artificial intelligence project is you have a problem in your mind and you want to find a solution for it. There's no better motivation for this. And it's going to be the same solution or the same answer for coding. If you would like to start coding, take a project, your own project, your personal project that you can solve. For example, in your desktop, you see that you have a lot of icons in your desktop and you want to find a small code that organize all this every time, instead of, instead of using some specific things. But you need, this motivation should come from you and not, looking for something else. And then after this, through the process, you are going to learn a lot, because you are going to, generate a lot of errors, and then you try to find a solution. You go to Stack Overflow, look for solution. Those solutions and errors, they definitely are going to help you. There is nothing better than this. And you generate, you find the error, you fix it, and then next one and next one until you finish your debugging process. And this debugging process is going to create a mature developer on you. Right? And the same thing for artificial intelligence. So you have a lot of data. The only thing is just different is you have a lot of data, and then through this data set exist everywhere. and it's open source. You can find it, and then it depends of the problem that you have in your mind. So the problem you have in your mind that you want to find a solution for it through the artificial intelligence is going to help you exploring the platforms. That every platform has its specific thing. For example, if you are a beginner, I would suggest for you to use as a deep learning platform like Keras instead of going to TensorFlow, for example, because TensorFlow is more, more for development, for production, for distributed system. Keras is more for education. That is going to help you a lot, learning about artificial intelligence in general and deep learning specifically.
Okay, so what are some common misconceptions with artificial intelligence? Because I know, like, for instance, in most movies, they're like, oh, the robots are going to take over all of the jobs that people normally do. Is that actually a concern, so to speak, or is it more of artificial intelligence is how and why the brain works in the way that it does, and kind of how to use it in the real world? How does that kind of work together?
Yeah, I think the best example is this, because artificial intelligence is part of the fourth industrial revolution, right? And then when you compare it to the second or the third industrial revolution, things changed very quickly. People, they were spending most of the time in agriculture, and then after this, the industry come, and then people, they lost a lot of jobs in agriculture, because they are interested in industry. Same thing with artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence is here. Don't forget that artificial intelligence is just a way to find some solution, and is here just because it's part of the solutions, just to help the human being to find some solution where the robot, where the automated system, sensors, different technology, they are around to help the human being. And the human being is the person that is programming this, and the involvement of the artificial intelligence and technology is because of the human being want to do this, and of course it's going to replace, or is going to maybe some professions are going to disappear because the robot or the system. It's exactly the same thing when we start using computers. People, they instead of the human being is thinking about the calculating things, the computer is doing it, and the human being is thinking about something else, or creating or innovating. So I think we will have more innovation in different other areas, and the human and the robots, or the computers in general, with artificial intelligence is going to take some professions that in the past the human being was actually the actor doing it. So of course it's going to be a little bit difficult for some people, but I think the future is going to be mostly about people who are creating or programming the artificial intelligence program or applications. So they, of course, the business is going to change a little bit, if not most of it, because you have a new professions connected to artificial intelligence, and you have some traditional professions that are going to disappear with time. But I think it's going to be kind of equivalent. People that are going to lose their jobs in one side, and the other people that are going to have professions and new professions. So the idea is to jump on this artificial intelligence, especially coding or marketing through artificial intelligence. All these professions are going to be new. So it's going to be smart if the people that are now students at the university, they are going to choose some specific areas where artificial intelligence is going to be the future. Learn some stuff about the artificial intelligence, learn some stuff about data and big data. All these things is a very good preparation for them to find a job in the future very quickly.
Okay, gotcha. So then would AI aim to have human level intelligence, or would it try to aim to be above human level intelligence?
I think there's nothing smarter than the human being. And the human being, he is the creator, or he's the person, or he's the actor who is going to create these artificial intelligence programs, right? So the machine is going just to take the intelligence of the human being. So who is going to do coding for this robots if not the human being? And then to see that this intelligence or owned by the machine, I think this is going to be not now. It's going to be really after 20 or 30 years, when the artificial intelligence will be more mature, where it's going to be the trans intelligence between machines or robots. But I don't think it's going to be soon, for sure.
Yeah. So going back to your path to get to AI, did you do any internships to get you ready for the workforce, like going into the real world, or did you just study really hard? How were you able to manage to get to where you are today?
Yeah, my background is actually microarchitecture, which is connected more in performance than artificial intelligence. But artificial intelligence, the definition is actually how you can make a program act, adapt, and feel or sense. And how I get when I started artificial intelligence, it was by creating the first maybe architecture for deep learning at the company. At that time, it was in 2014, 13 or 14 at Yahoo, when I started creating the first cluster to calculate or to use some specific deep learning platform using different servers all connected together to have intensive compute for specific or complex algorithm that we use at that time at Yahoo. So it was mostly, and I was lucky because we have the resources, the compute resources, which is very, very important when it comes to artificial intelligence, especially when we do the training part and not the inference part. So training needs a lot of computation or computing. So for me, I didn't do any internship. I was lucky because it was part of my job. So I was learning by the experience, by mistakes every time because I saw the need. So I knew that my vision was like, okay, I'm going to spend more time in artificial intelligence program and platforms. So it's time because I have the resources. I try things. They work. After this, I created things that sometimes they work, sometimes they are not. And then with the experience, I could understand very quickly where I need to invest or spend my time, especially in artificial intelligence application or project. So I had a lot of projects in artificial intelligence, in machine learning, and in deep learning, which are different, sectors in the industry. So yeah, my experience is mostly application, which is completely different than academia. But I have blood because I have research in my blood, as we say. I spent a lot of time in my life after my PhD doing postdocs. So I do a lot of research. So I was in between doing things for application, for industry, and also the same thing I was doing. Writing papers, publishing things for big conferences about artificial intelligence. For example, anomaly detections, things that I was working on, and then I checked that I could share some data with the public, and then publish it in some papers or publish it in some magazines, scientific magazines, and conferences in deep learning and artificial intelligence.
Do you think it's beneficial to have a PhD underneath your belt? For instance, if I am going into computer science, would it be beneficial for me to have a PhD before going straight into the workforce, or do you think that it's kind of up in the air?
I don't think so. I mean, after all these years, the industry, I see a lot of people. For me, I feel lucky because I already hold a PhD degree that I can use it. I can use it as a hat if I need to go in research, if I need to deal with academia in general. But to do artificial intelligence as your career in industry, I think these the basics that I was talking about, the coding thing, Linux, data structure, Python programming, that will be enough. I don't know if it's going to be part of a degree like a bachelor degree or master degree, but I think if you know this, you'll be a good competitor for different employees that they are working in artificial intelligence in industry. Yeah.
Okay. So now moving over to your work in Algeria, how did you use your company to get started and prepare camp?
Yeah, it's completely different thing. It's not part of my company or my my work, my profession. It's actually personal because as I told you at the beginning, I have origins from Algeria or North Africa, so I feel that I need to give back to my country, and I see a need there. So this is the thing: when you see a need, either here in the U.S. Because I was also the president of the association here, the Algerian Association here in North California. So I understand what my people need, or in terms of technology, of course. Of course, there's another volunteering work that I did in the past with my community. But I think the thing that we can invest and see the biggest impact is education. Either here in the US, my community here in the US, or different other communities, because you need to be open-minded that you can help, or you be able to help people everywhere, not only in Africa or in my country, Algeria. The thing is, I saw that there is a need. I understand that because I have this culture. I understand what they're looking for, especially students. So investing in students, investing in education. For these students at the university, I think it's the biggest achievement that a person like me can have in his life, because you see the impact after this, and you see the new generation with the education, or at least the seeds of education that you plant. And then after 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, for sure you see one of the students that you taught in the past, they become very important, and then they change things in a country like Algeria or a continent like Africa. So the idea was, I started having the idea that I need to go for a boot camp in 3 cities in Algeria, because I saw the need that these students, they need some, I need to teach them some stuff that I see them here in Silicon Valley, and they can go faster in their education. It doesn't mean that the university in Algeria, they have a bad quality of teaching. No. The thing is, we learn a lot of theory in the universities in general, but especially in Algeria, we learn a lot of theory. And I see that students, they were not ready for professional life when they finished their degree, either a bachelor degree or master degree, or even PhD for research. So I had the idea, or to go there and teach them something that or at least orientation, that these are the fields that you need to invest your time, and this will help you a lot when you finish your degree, and then you'll be prepared, or you'll be at least ready to start work at a company, a small company, a big company, create your startup, for example, things like this. So this was my idea to start with the first boot camp, and then after this, even with the COVID-19, with this situation, I decided, even before, actually, it was in February, things they were not clear about the COVID-19 at that time, but I told them, okay, I picked 6 students that they are motivated, and also they accepted to teach after what I'm going to teach them. So they accepted to do it. So because it's a commitment for me and for them too, because it's kind of a responsibility. If you accept that you got something from someone, that you are going to replicate this, and it's kind of an exponential thing, because if you teach one and this one, it will teach 10 or 20, it's going to be the impact is going to be huge after this. So I selected 6 students, and then I took the commitment to teach them for 6 months. I usually do it in the morning before starting my work, my work at my company. And then I can see the fruit now. It's amazing what these students can do with artificial intelligence.
So how are you implementing curriculum from such a distance? Are you using video chats like we are right now, or any other means of communication?
Yeah, I use different materials. I use definitely Google Hangouts was very, very helpful, because I have 6 students. So it's not like different other applications that they are limited. So 6 students is enough with Hangout. Hangout is also very good when it comes to a low internet connection. So some of my students, they don't have very good connection. So Hangouts can handle this, which is very helpful compared to other software. Second thing is you need to organize the curriculum. It doesn't mean that you have the slides and it's enough. No, it depends. So the slides are here just to do the presentation, but you need to organize it. And I use the Google Classroom for this. It's very easy to use, and also for the student, they can understand it very, very well. And then when it comes to homework, because I wanted to teach them application. Every time I give them a lecture, at the end, they need to take a homework, and then they need to do some reflection outside of the theory, especially when it comes to industry. So I gave them real cases that they need to solve, real applications that they need to code for it, and then finish the software or application, at least small application for of course for artificial intelligence with the real data set that it's from websites for institutions, from hospitals. All these data sets, they are really important, and we were lucky because most of them, they are open source. Entail helped me a lot with the curriculum, especially Steve, and I'm really thankful for Steve, because he was very helpful, and he believed in this project since the first second I tried to explain to him. So he was helpful. Algeria, in this specific university, in the University of Skikda, which is in the east of Algeria, they had already the basic material. They have HPC, which we call the HPC High Performance Computing Center. So I converted this HPC to be an artificial intelligence center for this specific university. And this cluster, we worked hard to install different platforms, because it was almost the software for management, operating system, and then the hardware, which is mostly Intel processors. So what we did is installing all the platforms, all the software layers, to be able for the students to manipulate all the artificial intelligence project. And first of all, it was a problem with access, especially with COVID-19, because when we started our projects, we started with we had this problem of coronavirus at the beginning. It was very, very hard. So we could give them access to this cluster. They could install everything, because it's not me who is going to do the job, it's the students. So I gave them the very good presentation about how they can build their their platform, the infrastructure for artificial intelligence, and they did it very well. And I was amazed by how fast they are, and how they are motivated they are. So it was really good. So Intel gave me the license for different. Actually, we did the extension, because they had already a license. We did just the extension from 2016 to 2020, specific applications, that the Parallel Studio, and also on the top of it, or when it comes to OpenVINO, things that they use for artificial intelligence projects. So Intel, they helped me also with the courses, or the professor course or instructor courses, and also the students courses with all the homework. So the curriculum was already there. So I used this curriculum because it's industry, it's a company curriculum, and then you need just to follow the steps, and here we are. So now they are ready for certification, and the certification is going to be part of the same process that Intel is recommending through the courses of the Intel Artificial Intelligence Academy.
So what does the certification entail exactly?
Yeah, the certification is to give the certificate for students, because they passed already the different lectures. They have some knowledge, and then after this, they pass an exam of 18 questions covering all the lectures that they taught. And if they have 80% of it, the Intel would deliver a certification or a certificate for them that they are artificial intelligence leaders or experts.
Oh, that is very cool.
Yeah.
So in order to take this curriculum, do students have to have prerequisites already completed, or are there any prerequisites that need to be done?
Yeah, very good question. So my students, the 6 students that I have 5 students from 2, they are finishing their master's degree. 3 of them, they are PhD students.
Wow, okay.
And one of them, she's genius. She's 14 years old.
Wow.
And why I selected her, because she was following all our boot camps, either at the university when we went physically on site, and also all the virtual conferences or virtual home camps. We call them home camps. It's like a boot camp, but virtual boot camps. We call them home camps. And she was asking very good questions. And then through the questions that she was asking, I felt that she's first interested. Second, I felt that she's part of the she's preparing her master's degree, or at least she has a bachelor's degree. And then she sent me an email, because I saw her comments, and I told her, okay, please send me a private message or an email. She sent me an email, and she told me that I am only 14 years old, and
wow.
with the very good English. And English is not, it's the third language in Algeria. It's not the first language. In Algeria, we have 3 languages. The first language is Arabic, which is the native language. And the second language is French. And third language is English. But we see the new generation converting to the English language more than French. And after this, she told me that she knows 7 languages. So I was like, impressed. Why you know Italian, for example? She said, because I'm curious. Okay. And she knows 4 programming languages: Java, C, C++, Python, and another language. I think it's Pascal, whatever. And I said, why you? And she said, I love computer science, and I feel like at her age, she's feeling like she's not wasting her time, but at school, but she already knows a lot of stuff in her in her class. So she wants to jump not only in computer science, but she wants to jump in artificial intelligence. She told me, I want to learn artificial intelligence. Can you share the material or whatever? I said, okay, you know what? Join the team, join the group that I have, and I will see. I did some evaluation for her. She was excellent. And then during the courses, she was doing her homework exactly like others. Actually, she did a great job. And then I said, okay, I need to give you orientation. I need to give you some basics. You need to learn about data structure. You need to learn about algorithm. And I was sharing with her books. And every week, she finished the book. And then I give her evaluation. She knows everything very fast. And she participated in some, international, competitions for coding. She was also good. So I said, I think you should be a very good artificial intelligence leader. So I'm trying to help her with, of course, education, but also it's going to be in the future when I can go travel. I'm going to give her things that she can build, and projects, and trying to help her in her own project, and she's going to be part of the group that I'm teaching, and the group that they started already publishing some papers. We can talk about this later, but I see that the first day when I started teaching them, they didn't know about a lot of things. Even the technical word of specific things, like Jupyter, for example, things like very, very simple in the coding and artificial intelligence. They didn't know what doesn't know what does it mean panda, numpy, things that even when they tried to pronounce it, it was hard for them. Now they create things with panda, they create things with numpy, and it's very impressive.
Wow, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
So in the future, do you think that you will be making more camps like this all around Algeria, maybe even branching out in all around North Africa, or is this only going to be more offered with the 3 boot camps that you currently have?
Yeah, so after this, I had a lot of meetings with Entail, and they are really interested in this project that I'm trying to build in Africa, or in North Africa, in Algeria. So I created the first artificial intelligence center in North Africa, if not in Africa. And through this team, the 6 students with their university. And I'm going to expand when I finish, because I don't want to, work in, I want to finish my work. I want to focus in this team and also this university, when I am done with it, when I see that the Artificial Intelligence Center is built and everything is functional, and the students, they start teaching other students, then I can move to another university or to build another artificial intelligence center. But I'm trying to build the strategy for artificial intelligence in Algeria, in a country. And when you think about a strategic thing, it's going to be not only about science and education, but also it's going to be about the ethics of artificial intelligence. Maybe some people, they are going to use artificial intelligence for bad things, for bad stuff. So I want to teach them the ethic of the artificial intelligence as part of the strategy. And then we have a lot of things to do when it comes to infrastructure. Unfortunately, there is a bad internet connection in Africa in general, and also in Algeria. We need to find a solution how we can accelerate, how we can get better bandwidth in terms of internet connectivity. And also, this artificial intelligence center is also a data center. So we need to build more data centers where we can host the data. Because, of course, in the future, we are going to generate a lot of data through the hospitals, for example, when it comes to everything which is medical, image processing, video processing, all these things. But other projects that they can solve problems, real problems, in a country like Algeria, which with the problems are similar to Africa. This when we finish with Algeria with a big network, because this is the idea too. After the part of the strategy is to build the network between universities. So each university, they will have an artificial intelligence center similar to the model of University of Kida, and there will be connectivity, which means that, you know, Algeria is the largest country in Africa, and it's more than 2,700,000 square kilometers. So it's huge. It's a continent, and some people in the south, they don't have this chance or ability to connect to the technology. So the idea is also to connect the student in the south, in the east, in the center, in the west, to any center close to it, and he can build his project. He can start with his idea to solve a problem of his neighborhood, of his region, of his area, and this is the idea also through this artificial intelligence center. When we are done with Algeria, I think we can replicate the same success story. If there is a very good outcome through Algeria, we can replicate it to Tunisia and Morocco. Why? Because these countries are similar in culture. They're similar, same language, same a lot of traditions, a lot of things that are similar in these countries. So it's easy to move in these countries. And then we are going to think about Africa, because it's a continent, and it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. So that is actually all of the questions that I have. Of course, I am looking into different internship opportunities around the area. I have just recently had a phone call with Raytheon, and I am looking into getting an internship with Entail. But with the perspective of internship opportunities, especially in the realm of AI, are there any top companies I should be looking towards for those internships, or is it kind of just open up? Because of course you learn best while you're doing, and I think an internship would be the best opportunity in order to further that career.
Yeah, I think Intel is definitely a very good company that if you can get an internship at Intel, you are going to be lucky, because Intel is doing a lot of things in artificial intelligence. They already have artificial intelligence academy with everything ready when it comes to education, and also technology and software. They built everything I'm talking about the software, and the Intel is also a hardware company. Actually, it is a hardware company before to be a software company. So they have the hardware, and they are building. I think they are building also a hardware specific for artificial intelligence. They have FPGAs too. Things that you can use for deep learning, for artificial intelligence, for machine learning. This is one. I think Intel is a very good company if you can get you can start with an internship there. But you see, also there are other companies that they are doing a lot of things, and they are one of the leaders in artificial intelligence and deep learning, like Facebook and Google. Apple is doing a lot of stuff in artificial intelligence. I think these big companies, and they're known. Everyone knows about these companies and how many, how much they are investing in artificial intelligence. I think these companies they can help you a lot. But don't ignore the startups, because startups are good, especially for your age, because you just we call it entry level. You just finish you graduate from school, so you work hard in startups, but you'll gain a lot of knowledge because you will be everywhere. You need to take care of everything. In big companies, you will be assigned to do specific work, right? Because they have a lot of employees, and every employee is going to be solving a specific problem or working in specific project. But with startups, you'll be everywhere. You will learn about management. You will learn about artificial intelligence. You will learn about managing your project. You will learn about communication, how you communicate with people and convince them that your project, your product is the best. Things like this is going to be very, very helpful in the future. And also think about, after your internship, after gaining this experience, think about a big problem that you can solve it with a simple idea, and this will help you building your own startup, your own project, and maybe the startup will be like Google and Apple, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
Do you have any things that you would have done differently while you were in your career path? For instance, if you would have started studying AI sooner or anything like that?
I don't think so, but of course, I always think about doing my MBA, and I think a PhD in computer science plus MBA is going to be a very good match, especially when it comes to either going with my own startup, or also in the in the area in my job, in my work. So I see that sometimes I need some knowledge in MBA or in business management. That could be very, very helpful. So again, it's about education. Even with my situation, I'm thinking to go back to school for MBA.
Okay. So thank you so much for your time. I have a lot of things to think about. I just found your boot camps really fascinating, and hopefully in the future I would love to work and do something kind of similar to this, but maybe in a little bit of South America versus in Africa. But
I think you'll find a lot of similarities between these continents and countries, because most of them, they are struggling with the technology. And believe me, they have very good. They have knowledge. They have sometimes they have very good education. The only thing is they don't have access to technology, and sometimes they don't have access to either. Sometimes they don't have even for internet. So I think it's a big, I would say, obstacle or a big barrier that can stop a lot of people, that they don't have access to the opportunities that we have here in the US. And believe me, for you, and I think even for everyone, the sky is the limit. And the difference is that you are in a country where you see people starting from nothing, and that now they are on the top of their own companies, and it's a giant company, and you have a motivation, and you need to take advantage of this. But don't forget to help other people, because for some reason they didn't have this chance. So think about yourself, taking advantage of this opportunity, and also think about people, how you can help people. And knowledge is the best thing. Education is, of course, you are going to take a little bit of your time, but believe me, it's going to be a huge impact, and it's going to be helpful for you, because at least you could help some people. and at the same time you are going to learn more, because when you teach, it's completely different than when you are learning, right? Because when you are teaching, you have in front of you students. You need to be very good in communication, and sometimes they ask you very, very good questions that you don't yet, that sometimes you don't think about them, and this will help you actually learning new things. And you need to, and also it's kind of, you are managing people, and when you manage people, believe me, it's very, very difficult, more than managing projects.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Khadija.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. And if you need something, just email me or go through Steve, and then I will be so happy, especially if you are interested to like internship at Yahoo. Let me know. Let me know if things that are not working with Intel, and I think it should work. But if you need something, just let me know, and then I will try to help you either with getting an internship at the company or anything else for helping your career, and also the your orientation when it comes to computer science in general or artificial intelligence.
Yeah,
good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.